editorial comment. I don't think too much of that. Hector Guerrero, we've had a lot of people asking about how Hector was. We were able to get the Jarrett Welch camera to hear a statement from Hector. Let's take a listen to it.
Well, my arm, I can't say too much for it now, but the ligaments in it, the doctor told me it will be a couple of days before I can even do anything with it. And it seems to be getting better, but there's times that just the pain and it's just the frustration of being tied up and not be able to do anything. That's what makes me mad. Oh, do I want a shot? Do I want a shot for those assassins? I want to get them with my bare hands. Not only do I want that, I want to meet each and every one of them any way they want it, any time, at any place. You put the date, you say where they want it, I will be there 100%. But right now, my arm needs to get recuperated. It needs 100% recuperation, and that's what I'm going to give it.
In case you missed it out there in the very part of it, it's the ligaments. Hector really was lucky in the fact that his arm was not broken. It's really painful, and it has been giving some problem. They've tried to keep it immobilized because tore some ligaments in there. Hector Guerrero, and we're glad at least that he's getting along to the extent that he is. We've got more action coming up on Championship Wrestling. We'll be back to it in just a moment. He is indisposed with knots and so forth. He didn't want to ruin his pretty illusion. Yeah, I'm getting ahead of the story. Jerry Lawler had a match in Louisville, Kentucky at the Louisville Gardens with Ken Lucas. I think most of you probably remember Ken. Ken, a real scrapper. He wrestled here with Championship Wrestling some time ago with his partner, Dennis Hall. They were an excellent young tag team. Ken is seasoned, and he's just a really tough, fine wrestler. He had a match with Jerry the King Lawler. It originally started, the first battle that Lawler had with him was in Birmingham, Alabama, and Lawler wrestled him in Louisville, Kentucky. Now, the Jarrett Welch cameras, I want you to watch this entire thing, because the Jarrett Welch cameras, we talked to Ken Lucas before the bout. Understand, before the bout in the Louisville Gardens. Let's hear what Kenny had to say.
Louisville, Kentucky wrestling fans, next Tuesday night at Louisville Gardens, a great card of action has been signed. The main event, the CWA World Heavyweight Champion, Jerry Lawler. He'll be taking on this man that is with me right now, Ken Lucas. Ken, it's a non-title match. You're taking on the man that is the epitome of wrestling, the World Heavyweight Champion.
Let me say one thing about Jerry Lawler. I've seen a lot of things with him in the magazines. I've got to watch his style on TV a lot of times, and the man is a very, very good champion, and I have a lot of respect for the man. And I know what I'm going to have to do when I go in the ring with him, that he's a very, very tough man. He asks no quarter, he gives no quarter, and I'm going in to do one thing, Michael. If I get a win over him, then I've got a chance to go for that CWA championship, World's Championship belt. And I know that's what I've got to do.
Well, the one thing about Jerry Lawler, like, he is the champion, but he has been known to bend the rules some, Ken.
Well, anytime I think that things get hot and heavy in a championship match or a non-title match, it's like I say, the man is the champion, and I know that he will a lot of times stick up for his rights to keep that belt. That's what does make a champion. And I know my wrestling very well. I expect to have a very, very hard wrestling match with him, but if things do get hot and heavy, I've been known to lose my temper too, and I can get pretty rough too, my friend.
Well, Jerry Lawler has gained the title since winning the title from superstar Billy Graham. He has defended it against some of the top mat stars around the world. And, of course, a win for you at Louisville Gardens next Tuesday night would be very, very creditable and hopefully would get you a shot at that title.
That's correct. Like I say, the man is the CWA World Heavyweight Champion, and if I do beat him this week, I'm sure that I will have a title shot, and I'm looking forward to that.
Best of luck to you, Ken. That's at the Louisville Gardens this coming Tuesday night. All you wrestling fans in Louisville, be sure to see Jerry the King Lawler, the CWA World Heavyweight Champion. He'll take on Ken Lucas in that big main event. And, of course, this will be a non-title match. Ken, the best of luck to you.
Thank you very much.
And we'll see you in Louisville Tuesday night.
Thank you.
Michael St. John reporting from Louisville.
Okay, thank you, Michael. In that conversation, bear in mind, as I said, that was before the match. That wasn't the only comment that was made before the match. As you can imagine, the King had a comment or two to make about it. Let's take a listen to Jerry Lawler.
This coming Tuesday night, Louisville, Kentucky wrestling fans, you're in store for a great card of action. One of the biggest main events ever signed. As a CWA World Heavyweight Champion, Jerry the King Lawler will take on Ken Lucas. The match will be a non-title affair. And Jerry, Ken Lucas coming to Louisville, Kentucky. to take you on. It'll be a non-title match. You're the champion. What have you got to say?
Well, I'll tell you, Michael, what I got to say. No, I can't do it. I can't stand here and try to tell you people that Ken Lucas is a great wrestler, or that I think he's a good wrestler. And I know there's nothing more that you would like to hear, or that the Louisville promoters would like to hear, or the fans out there, because I guess Ken Lucas is obviously the best talent you have available in this area. But it's not right for me, the world heavyweight champion, to stand here and tell you people a lie. To be perfectly honest with you, I never heard of Ken Lucas before I signed this match. He should be arrested for impersonating a wrestler, and probably will when he comes to town. And I realize the promoters would like for me to stand here and give this guy some credibility, because, you know, they want to get a lot of people to come to see this match. But the truth of the matter is, you know, beating Ken Lucas will probably be a piece of cake for me, because he's obviously not in the top 10 ranked contenders. He is not a world-class wrestler. I've never seen anything about him in the magazines. You know, I just don't... I've never heard of Ken Lucas, so I can't stand out here and tell you people that it's going to be a tough match. I know you'd probably like to hear that. You probably think Ken Lucas is a good wrestler. But what you don't know is that I am the greatest wrestler in the world today, and beating Ken Lucas will be a joke.
Well, Jerry, those are some very strong words. Now, I've heard a lot about Ken Lucas. I hear he comes in with some outstanding credentials, and the man could win, could upset you.
You're right here in Louisville, man. I mean, you know, what is Louisville, Kentucky? It's a little local, yokel, hick town, and you probably have heard a lot about Ken Lucas. But I'm traveling all over the world now that I've won this title, and I have heard absolutely nothing about Ken Lucas. I've been to Japan. I've been all over the world, and the name Ken Lucas never comes up. He is not, like I said before, a world-class wrestler. He is a local Louisville yokel, and, you know, I'm sorry to tell you people this, but this is probably going to be the biggest joke of my career.